Time for the Sump gasket and the Sump. Now once again, this is kind of rubbery papery. Not rubber, not paper. It says not to fit it with any sealing paste, which I'm in two minds about, to be honest, because sumps tend to leak a lot more than I think manufacturers would admit. So I might just do what I did on the T4, and that is put some VW sealing paste on here. There is no mention in the Bentley manual or the Haynes manual or online that I can find that says that I should apply oil to the sump gasket. But there are some people who recommend using a sealing paste. So I have this VW sealing paste. That's the part number over there. And I've used this to seal various things on my T4 with great success. So I think I'm going to do the same thing on the Golf engine. I'm going to put a bit of sealing paste on here and then put the gasket on. Then I will take the sump and put a bit of sealing paste on the sump and then put the sump on and tighten it all down. And then I will do the end carriers last because they are alloy and I don't want to over tighten them into that because that'll strip the threads. So I'll tighten down the sump on the main block area first and then do the ends. That is my sump on. Well, the sump for the 1.8 8-valve engine, that is. I have tightened these all down to 15 Newton meters. The manual says 20, which is pretty odd because the other M6 bolts that are on this engine are all done to 10 Newton meters. And tightening these up to 20 just feels way overkill, especially for the alloy bits on the ends. Now, because I've used the VW sealing paste on here, I've gone for 15 Newton meters. I'm going to see how it goes. If the sump does leak from there, then I'll nip it up a little bit more on the metal to metal. In other words, where the block is, not on the ends. So I've got extra sealing paste on the corners here where the block meets these seal carriers or end caps, whatever you want to call them. Manual calls them seal carriers. So I've got a little bit of extra there because of that joint. It's likely to leak and you can see it's pushing out just a little bit over here. So I'm pretty happy with that, really. Now I can turn it over and fit the head. But before I do that, I am just going to treat the sump with some anti-rust shield. I'm not going to paint it, and I think I might do the same to the sides of the engine block as well, because I want to keep, you know, the kind of weathered patinaed look of the Survivor build. I'm not going to paint the block. Obviously, if I was, I would have done that already. Obviously, if I was going to paint this and make it look really pretty instead of patina Pete, then I probably would have had this powder coated or something. But I'm not doing that. Not building a show car. I think all the black paint that was on here originally is gone, long gone. Give the engine block a little bit of a light coat as well. This is the back of the engine, so I'm just going to give that a little bit of coat of this. I have cleaned this with brake and parts cleaner. and let it dry. You can see it starts getting this surface rust on it. So groovy. Nice. I think that'll just keep it looking a little bit OG, right? 40+ year OG. I'm going to take a little bit of this engine oil and I'm just going to spread it around the top of the pistons. I did clean the pistons a bit earlier, so I'm just going to dip these in. I'm just going to give a little bit of oil in here because the block has been standing open. I'm just going to lube the walls of the cylinders, because when I fit the head I won't have access to this anymore. The tops of the pistons. Groovy, man, groovy. I've refitted the lower pulley gear so I can rotate this engine and just lube up those walls. Right, I've got the little oil filter bracket here. It has a little oil sender on it, which I've removed, and then a single connector over here, which I'm not sure. I don't really know what that's for. But anyway, I've given it a little bit of a clean. I don't need it, it's spotless. But what I do need to do is make sure that this mounting surface where the oil cooler goes is clean, and of course where it mounts to the block is clean but also smooth. And you can see that there is a lot of debris still that's on that surface, even after I've removed a lot of it with my trusty blade. And I'm just going to rub this on the surface there to clean that up. Not bad. Not bad at all. And if you're wondering why I'm using sanding pads for a mouse, is because I bought way too many of them and I have lots and lots. And they're pretty handy size. Bada bing. Much better. Now any of that remaining paper gasket that would have been on this face or on the engine block, if I'd left it there and just put the new gasket on and refitted it to the engine, 100% leak. There is no doubt it would leak, because it won't, these two machine surfaces won't be pressing up nicely against one another. There will be an inconsistency in the surface, and then the oil will definitely leak out of it. It's amazing how sensitive your fingers are, in that you can pick up any imperfections or any debris that's on the surface. AI can't do that. And that is the gasket that I've got to use. Once again, it's kind of one of those paper gaskets, so I'm guessing that I'm going to have to give that a little bit of oil. So this mounts with 3 M6 Allen heads, my absolute favorite kind of fixing knot, and if I can replace it with a hex I will. Okay, I'm going to give these a little bit of copper slip because they were very stubborn coming out, and should this gasket leak in future, I don't want it to be an absolute mission to get these out, for me or the next owner. got some oil on the gasket, and now I will put that in place. In my opinion, Allen heads should have no place on an engine. And if I'm not mistaken, it's mainly European cars, particularly German cars, that love to use them. They were a nightmare on our BMXs in the 80s and the 90s. They are still a nightmare today. So these three Allen heads are supposed to be done up to 25 Newton meters, which is quite a lot. It's no wonder that these bolts snap off in the block, because 25 Newton meters is a lot for one of these, and that's why they strip, I think. I mean, I am getting nervous. This is on 25, but I'm going to turn it down. So yeah, you could tell that the bond at the bottom wants to strip already. Up to 23. Okay. And that is the temperature, oil temperature sensor, and that is the oil pressure sensor. Now we've got a brand new copper washer from that gasket set. Pop that on there. Deep 24mm socket. Just going to nip that up. I don't want to make it too tight because it is a steel thread on a piece of alloy. So while I've got the engine at top dead center, I'm just going to remark this, because that was white before, and it was basically where it met the gear from the intermediary shaft that drives the oil pump. It was about 1 o'clock. Now it is a top dead center, so I've got that mark, and then there's a little mark down the bottom there, bearing in mind that this gear can only go in this position. So those are my two timing mods, 6 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.